now recognize Austin Mayor Watson. Thank you for being here from the great state of Texas. Welcome, welcome. You're recognized for 5 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Ranking Member, and members of the subcommittee. As indicated, my name is Kirk Watson. I'm the mayor of Austin, Texas, and I want to thank you for the opportunity to testify here today and provide the perspective of a local elected official on this important issue. My written testimony goes into significant detail about several items related to intercity passenger rail, including support for the significant investment made by the IIJA and Amtrak's plans for using that funding. So I'm going to focus my oral testimony on our local view and the value that could be obtained. At the broadest level, I'm eager to do anything I can to support improved intercity passenger rail in Texas. Texas and its cities are leading the nation in growth, and we desperately need to improve multimodal mobility between our cities and metropolitan areas that are the bedrock of our state's thriving economy. When Austin's tiny Amtrak station was built in 1947, Austin's population was just over 100,000. Today, our population is nearly 10 times that amount, making Austin the 10th largest city in America. Austin has been the fastest growing metropolitan area since 2010. The metropolitan area population now exceeds 2.4 million people. And of course, other Texas cities and metropolitan areas are experiencing similarly robust growth. Austin is planning a multi-billion-dollar investment in our rapidly growing airport, in transit, in roadway improvements, and the Texas Department of Transportation and other Texas local governments are investing tens of billions of dollars more on highways, local roads, and transit. However, the highways and airports connecting Texas cities simply can't keep up with the demands of our state's economy and the mobility needs of its people. And so I'm glad that federal agencies and Amtrak and TxDOT and Texas cities and counties are looking to improve intercity passenger rail service in Texas, and more specifically in what we call the Texas Triangle. The three transportation corridors in Texas that are anchored by Dallas-Fort Worth, Houston, and San Antonio are often referred to as the Texas Triangle. The cities and metropolitan areas of the Triangle are home to 21 million people, account for 70% of all Texans, and 74.2% of the Texas economy. It's experiencing rapid population growth, accounting for 88% of Texas's population growth between 2010 and 2020. Austin is located along the western leg of the triangle that links San Antonio, Austin, Fort Worth, and Dallas. Those four cities along the 310-mile western leg are all four of them, among the 13 largest cities in the United States, with an additional 800,000 people living along that leg in the Waco and Killeen Temple area. By contrast, only 2 of the 13 largest U.S. cities, New York City and Philadelphia, are located along the Boston to Washington Northeast Corridor. I would argue that the Texas Triangle is the lowest hanging fruit in the nation for improving intercity passenger rail service. Projections show that the developing passenger rail service in that triangle will produce robust ridership with a relatively modest capital investment because of the population, the density of that population, the economy, and the demographics. For example, the San Antonio to Dallas-Fort Worth corridor has all of the attributes that you would think would apply to the demand for passenger rail service. 4 major metropolitan areas with rapidly growing populations, severe highway congestion, and travel distances that are really too short to fly, and an often unpleasantly long drive. Think about these numbers. Dallas-Fort Worth to San Antonio is 310 rail miles. San Antonio to Houston is 210 rail miles. Houston back up to Dallas-Fort Worth is 297 rail miles. There's only one rail trip to Austin, Texas from Dallas, and that's of the Texas Eagle, and it takes 6.5 hours, and that's if it's on time when it leaves. And believe it or not, there's even less passenger rail service on the other 2 legs of the triangle. Developing the intercity passenger rail service for the Texas Triangle is going to require cooperation and financial support at all levels of government, federal, state, and local. And I'm pleased that TxDOT and other Texas leaders are seizing that opportunity. I fully support TxDOT's recent application under the Federal Railroad Administration's Corridor Identification and Development Plan to lay the groundwork for improved intercity passenger rail on the Texas Triangle. Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member, thank you all very much for giving me the opportunity to talk about the value I think that could be obtained.